What if you could increase your sales by 26.7% without running ads, launching a new product, or adding anything complicated to your business? And what if that extra revenue came in automatically month after month without you lifting a finger? That's exactly what I've done using Relaunch Magic, my system that strategically brings back non-buyers from my evergreen funnel and turns them into customers. If you're running an evergreen funnel and not using Relaunch Magic, you're leaving money on the table. Let's fix that. You're listening to the Online Course Show, where we dive deep into the strategies and tools that help online course creators build thriving businesses. I'm Jacques Hopkins, and over the past 12 years, I've built a successful online course business teaching piano that's brought in over $4 million, and I'm here to share the lessons I've learned along the way. Back in 2016, my piano course business had finally taken off. We were consistently making 5 figures per month, and I was running everything through an evergreen funnel. Things were working, but then I realized something. All of my sales were coming through this evergreen funnel, but I had no plan for the people who went through it and didn't buy. Some unsubscribed and plenty stayed on my list, but I wasn't really doing anything with them. So I started brainstorming a solution. I wanted something that would be great for my business, but also a great experience for potential customers, not just another random promo email here and there. And that's how Relaunch Magic was born. The first version worked incredibly well, but there was still one downside. I had to spend about 10 to 15 minutes of manual work on it every month, setting it up. So I recently optimized it even further, making it completely automated with Relaunch Magic 2.0. I did a deep dive workshop on this recently with my coaching clients, and today I wanted to give you an overview of how it works and see if maybe you should be implementing this in your business. So what exactly is Relaunch Magic, and why has it worked so well for me and my clients over the years? At its core, Relaunch Magic is a system to recapture potential buyers who went through your funnel but didn't purchase the first time. Instead of letting them just kind of drift away, you re-engage them through a structured relaunch campaign that feels natural and value-driven rather than salesy or repetitive. Most people don't buy right away, not because they aren't interested, but because they need more time, they need more proof, or a different buying trigger. Relaunch Magic capitalizes on this by re-engaging them at the right time in the right way. Let me give you a real example from my own business. See, the conversion rate for Piano in 21 Days is about 3.5% in my evergreen funnel. That means for every 100 people who give me their email in exchange for the free workbook on my website, about 3.5 of them buy my full course within the first 12 days there, which is how long my evergreen funnel lasts. A small percentage will unsubscribe, but that still leaves over 90% of my leads who are still on my list but haven't bought yet. And that's where Relaunch Magic comes in. Instead of just sending a random sales email, it strategically creates urgency by making the relaunch feel like a special event rather than an ongoing offer. It builds trust through additional content, testimonials, and engagement before presenting another opportunity to buy. And it optimizes the experience by making sure no two launches are suspiciously close together. So why not just live launch? The mainstream approach to re-engaging non-buyers is running live launches multiple times per year. And that works, but it comes with a few downsides. So first of all, it's a bad experience if you also have an evergreen funnel. Imagine if I go through your evergreen funnel this week and get the full sales pitch, and then next week you just happen to be having a live launch and I get another big pitch next week. That is a terrible experience. Number 2 is it spikes your income instead of leveling it out. With live launches, you get revenue boost a few times a year during those live launches, but with Relaunch Magic, you get boost every month and it stabilizes your income month over month. And number 3, live launches can just be a lot of work. It can be a lot of headaches. Maybe you don't make any sales as you want. You don't feel like you got the payoff for the work and effort you had to put in. And so that's why I prefer Relaunch Magic. It is more steady income. It is a better experience for the person on the other end. And it's easier, if I'm being honest. So here's how it works. Here's how Relaunch Magic works. If someone doesn't buy or unsubscribe at the end of your evergreen funnel, what do? You have 2 things that I want you to do. First of all, you can send value at whatever cadence that you want. Keep nurturing them with useful content, case studies, and insights. No hard sales, just building trust and keeping them engaged until the next opportunity to buy. And then the second thing we do with these people is we run our Relaunch Magic. Every roughly 100 days, you reintroduce your offer through a structured relaunch sequence that feels timely and relevant. That's it. Simple, effective, and repeatable. The way it works is we set up a second email automation in addition to our evergreen one. And once a contact completes the evergreen funnel, the automation should wait around 100 days before starting the relaunch automation. And then you just repeat this process over and over again. And one day they either buy or unsubscribe. Now, I use ActiveCampaign to implement all this. It's got some nice advanced automations, but I've found you can implement this just about in any software. I've had plenty of people who have been on my email list for years and have gone through multiple relaunches. And for one reason or another, this 18th relaunch, for example, was the right time for them to buy. Now, who out there should set this up? You're ready to implement Relaunch Magic if you have these pieces in place. You have an evergreen funnel. You have a validated offer. You have your program itself. You have the product. You have some testimonials, and you have some traffic coming in. This overall is a bit more of an advanced strategy than we will typically talk about here on the podcast, but I know many of you listening are ready for this now, so that's why I'm bringing it to you today. Now, let me address a few common questions about this process that I typically get. Why do you relaunch every 100 days? Why that number? To be honest, this is a pretty arbitrary number. I used to do it every 4 months and thought we could get that number lower, so we dropped it to 100 days. And there was no noticeable drop off in sales when we made that move. And I feel like you could go even down to 3 months, which is closer to 90 days. But you don't want to do your relaunches so often that they lose their effectiveness. Does this feel spammy or salesy? Well, selling is serving. And if you believe in your product and you know it actually helps people, then you're doing them a great service by selling it to them. And Relaunch Magic systemizes that sales process beyond the evergreen funnel, so folks who weren't ready to buy then still have a great opportunity to buy in the future. So people really go through the exact same relaunch with the exact same emails over and over again. Yes, that's how I have mine set up. As the creator of the emails and the owner of the business, we think our emails are special little snowflakes that everyone will remember. But the truth is that on the other end, most people aren't remembering your emails from last week, let alone 100 days ago. Honestly, I might be able to get the conversion rate up slightly if I had multiple versions of my relaunch funnel and then just cycle people through the different versions so they don't experience the same one back to back, but I haven't felt the need to do that. But if the idea of the exact same relaunch happening over and over again makes you feel uneasy, then there is a modification you could try. Can I do this if my email list is small? Yes, even if you only have a few hundred subscribers, this still works because you're maximizing every lead. And as your list grows, the impact gets even bigger. What if my evergreen funnel isn't converting well? Should I still use Relaunch Magic? If your evergreen funnel isn't converting, well, fix that first. Relaunch Magic works best when your offer is already solid and you're just optimizing the follow-up. If your funnel isn't converting, there's probably something off with the offer, the positioning, and the messaging, and that should be addressed first. I recommend your evergreen funnel be converting at a minimum of 1% before you think about implementing Relaunch Magic. How do I get access to the full system? If you want the exact templates, emails, and automation breakdown, I go deep into this inside of my coaching program. I just did a full workshop on Relaunch Magic with my clients, breaking down everything step by step. And if you want the easy button to implement it, plus all kinds of other systems for starting or growing an online course business, then check out my coaching programs at oc.show/coaching. Don't leave money on the table. Get the full system inside my coaching program. Again, that's oc.show/coaching. Thank you so much out there for listening to another episode. Don't forget to take action on what you've heard here today. Like I said, I've seen Relaunch Magic increase my revenue by 26.7%, and my clients are seeing similar results. Take action. I'm rooting for you.